Welcome back, everybody. I promised a trip to the Warbird section of EAA AirVenture. Look at these incredible planes that are out here. So many Warbirds on the ground. So much history on display here on this side of EAA AirVenture. They're kind of off in their own section, and it is certainly beautiful. We're joined by Evan and Sean this morning. Thank you both so much for being here. Warbird pilots, and you've been up in the sky, and you guys help maintain these planes and keep them to what they are today. Just why is that mission so important to keep these planes in the sky and showing them off here on the grounds?
Well, it's important because the people who designed and flew these airplanes, there's not a lot of them left anymore, so it's our job to tell their story. And we're lucky enough to have known a lot of the guys who flew these and meet people over the years who built them, and having these here helps continue to tell their story.
Telling incredible stories. You've got the flight suit on, Sean. Were you up in the sky already this morning?
I got the privilege of doing that this morning early on, and it is an absolute privilege. So I came to Oshkosh the first time in 1979 and just fell in love with the Warbirds. And now 40 some years later, I finally get to fly one. So
First time flying one?
No, not the first time, but I finally get to so this field where the fighters are was just like where I hung out, but never did I ever think I could actually get here and fly a Mustang. So it was a 40-year dream to get here. And the idea is we want to display these aircraft in appreciation and in remembrance of those that, sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice in the war, for all of our freedoms. And then we want to let people know, so this is living history. And hopefully it encourages people to get involved in aviation. We need lots of people who also share this passion. And so by bringing the planes here and displaying them and flying them, we hope to propagate that passion.
We all know what a privilege it is to just fly into AirVenture at any point, right? But to be able to do it, we saw you guys take off right around the sunrise hours this morning. Just the skies aren't super busy at that point, and the ground's just waking up, and you kind of get to be the alarm clock, so to speak, for a lot of folks out here. Just talk about the privilege of, taking off in sunrise at AirVenture in Oshkosh.
Oh, it's an incredible feeling. The air, of course, is smooth and cool, and waking everybody up with the sound of a Merlin engine. I think it's appreciated by most of the people that are here, so it's a privilege.
I know we certainly appreciate it when we're doing our live broadcast out there and see them up in the sky. I overheard you talking. This is one shiny plane right here. That takes a lot of work to make them into the beautiful displays that they are out here. Just talk about the TLC that goes into bringing these out here every year.
Well, there's a lot of cleaning on a Mustang when you polish it, and you have natural aluminum. We recently had this polished, and it was about a 3-day project to get it cleaned up. But to maintain these airplanes takes a lot of people, takes a lot of talent and knowledge. The engines, the systems in these are pretty complex, so it takes a good mechanical group of people, and then people willing to put some elbow grease into it. And we always like to have things cleaned up, ready to show at Oshkosh. And so before you get here, you spend a lot of hours getting everything cleaned up, and so people can enjoy looking at it.
Over in this Warbird section, how many planes, guesstimate, can people expect to see from these different passed out here in this spot?
Oh boy, there's all kinds. I mean, I would say 75 Warbirds, probably more than that. A couple hundred, something like that.
Sure.
There's fighters of all sorts, Navy fighters, Air Corps fighters, Mustangs, P-40s, Corsairs, all kinds of stuff, B-25s.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because, like you said, it's not just one specific plane from one specific war, but this is just American military history really on display out here.
Yeah, it spans a lot of World War II. I mean, World War II is very popular with collectors and, restoration shops. But there's Korean War, there's Vietnam. You see a lot of over on the other ramp, some of the earlier jets now too. And it's just a big collection of Warbird pilots and people who enjoy looking at them.
How tricky is it to go from maybe your everyday flyer to antique, a vintage piece of aircraft like this?
It does take specific training. I mean, you have to have that in your focus. And I started with just a tailwheel aircraft first, and then flew T6. I have a T6, which was the traditional World War II trainer, and you kind of had to master that before you went to anything else before fighters. So still kind of the traditional way of training is the best. And I would encourage anybody at EAA AirVenture, they have a Warbird tram here for a tour. And you can get on the tram and it'll circle through all the airplanes, and you'll have a narrated guide, so you'll learn what's the trainer and what's the Navy planes and everything. And so it's an incredible service that they provide here of knowledge.
Keeping the tradition, the history alive. Thank you both so much for taking the time to share your Warbird story with us. These are a very cool spot to check out here at AirVenture. And as Sean mentioned, they've got that tram going on over there. It takes about 20 minutes, and you get to check out all of these beautiful, beautiful pieces of machinery out here on the grounds at EAA AirVenture. One just took off a little while ago. Looks like they've got, different demonstrations and whatnot over here as well that take place. So if you're out here on the grounds, make sure you make it over to the Warbird section. Those trams, if you want to jump on that, they say the last one leaves around 1 o'clock because the flight line starts to get pretty busy after the 2 o'clock hours. So they want to make sure they're not congesting traffic too much out here. But if it's something you want to come check out, you sign right up over there and get to enjoy all of this history out here on the EAA AirVenture grounds. We're going to go get ready because coming up at 9 o'clock, Southwest Airlines has a pretty cool patriotic flight that is going to be landing, celebrating America's 250, and we're going to try and catch that live if the timing works out. So make sure to tune in for Action 2 News mid-morning at that point. Right now, we're going to wrap it up here in the Warbirds area and head over to Boeing Plaza. So have a great day, everybody. We'll see you at 9 o'clock.